Acura overview from the car hater. I'm not really going to hate on this Acura too much, at least the beginning years from 86 and on. They were quite luxurious, and it was Honda's answer to, kind of bring something to the upscale market. It was way before Infiniti or Lexus was on the scene, and Acura Legend's biggest competition was actually the Nissan Maxima and Toyota Cressida. But it actually differed quite a lot because of the shape. I mean, those two were boxes. I do like those two automobiles also, though. But the Acura definitely brought in the European factor to it. It was like that was their competition. They were going after the Germans, and it was just really unique. And they did quite well too. They actually sold 100,000 cars a year, no problem. Way before '89's inception. Like I said, the Lexus and the Infiniti came around. The coupe, beautiful automobile. My friend had one with BBS wheels on it back in the day, and let me tell you something, the car was unbelievable. Later on, of course, Generation 2 came along, and they made, that beautiful car. GS wheels, the LS, Type 2 engine, and it all started from the Rover, which you might know as the Sterling 825, and then later on, when they changed over the engine, the 827. And Sterling, I thought it was an amazing automobile too. And Rover made this collaboration with Acura, or rather Honda, and came up with the Acura brand just to bring something different to the U.S. And it was a way of Rover trying to get back, but it wasn't really successful. Now, Acura started basically with two models. Of course, the Legend and then the Integra, just as Infiniti and Lexus had done. Keep in mind, Infiniti had the Q45 and the M30 Coupe, and Lexus had the LS400, and then they had the ES250. Oh, when that car came out, the polar white Acura Integra. I remember a friend had one, or rather his mother bought one brand new, and it was sitting in our parking garage, and I was just amazed. Back then to me, it wasn't so much super duper luxury high-end cars. It was these cars that were just normal everyday cars, but for them to come out with that polar white edition was just amazing. This car back then, I was just looking in my old automobile magazines, was only $10,000, the Integra. The Legend basically started around $22,000, and when you think about it today, that is so cheap for such an automobile. I mean, it's too bad that they just can't come back to that. What was Acura's problem? I don't think they really had a problem, and I think that these names were good choices, Legend and Integra. Of course, to me, the Legend became, I know a lot of people say it became the RL, but I always thought of the Legend becoming the TL because the RL was just an odd automobile. Even though I do respect it and I think the technology was always there, it never really took off. Now, in the US, it would be considered the RL as it took place, but in most other Euro countries, it was the TL that replaced the Legend. Now, the Integra, we know, became the RSX, and they, of course, later dropped that car, which I really do believe that they need to bring back. So what happened? I really believe that Acura lost the market share because of these stupid names. I think that the TL heard it. Now, of course, you got ILX, TLX, RLX, and I don't know if people really respect the new vision of the new company. This was a fine automobile. This TL, I always liked it, the Type S, and then, of course, oh my God, that car, stunning automobile, done hundreds of videos on those cars. When they came to this shape, it was very odd to me. I mean, you didn't know whether it was coming or going. Look at the front and the back on this car. It just had weird shape to it. But one of the things that was truly lacking, and look, if you notice, some of these new vehicles have that same kind of big grille in the front with the chrome, and it's something that they're really trying to overplay. But something that this generation TL really lacked was an S-Type. So what happened? Where's that Type S? Why didn't Acura ever come out with it? And even on the new one now, it still hasn't come about. And it's just very odd to me. Why wouldn't Acura, instead of building that bullshit NSX, build this car with a super duper motor in it and really kick some ass and bring back some luxury sport back to Acura, because Acura was always about being kind of like that sports vehicle. Now, this is something interesting from Gas. If you remember from Pimp My Ride, Gas was the original one on there, Jalopin Autosports. They're based in California. They had made this for the SEMA show. But of course, it never came out. You know, you could consider that a Type S. Now, this is something also from Acura, a prototype that they never came out with also, an Acura design. Why wouldn't Acura build this car? This is what they need. You know, it's funny, Infiniti has been messing around with that G37 or Q50, whatever the fuck the name is this week, where they were going to drop a Nissan GTR motor in there and really kick some butt. Why not try to throw an NSX motor in this fucking car and sell some automobiles, go after the BMW M5 and really make a statement out there? But instead, they want to waste a whole bunch of money out there on the NSX that's not going to be a seller. You know, I have to say thanks to Joey. He's been commenting to me about my NSX video. You can watch it at the end. I'll have a link. He's involved with the Acura Legend forum, and he said that my video was on there. So I do hope that this video actually makes it to there also. And he actually agreed with me a little bit on there, and he said that a lot of the Acura owners do feel that way, that Acura has kind of lost their way. I don't know if you agree with me or not. I like to read the comments, and also I actually do respond to comments. If you think Acura should really spend their money on building this car, hey, write it in there. Let's see what happens, you know, because I am taking some flack from some NSX nerds who are telling me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But see, I look at things differently from a childhood perspective, growing up and saying, wow, you know, this car made an impact on the street. And what's funny is it made an impact in the hood. I mean, the Acura was like a drug dealer's car dream, all the way up to the luxury car segment of, you know, that rich, proper sort of businessman. But I would really say if Acura was to come out with this car that we're looking at right now, they could really turn it around for the company, and they really should bring an RSX back and kind of fill that void. And I think there'd be buyers out there. You know, this car right now is priced around $45,000, the TLX. Not that bad, but, you know, I think Infiniti and Lexus have kind of stayed true to their form. Yeah, Lexus is a little weird trying to build sports cars now. But Acura kind of needs to get back on track because, you know, Genesis is coming out again with its own luxury brand. We'll see if that works. I doubt it. Take a look at these videos here on more car hating, and definitely subscribe to the channel. I thank you.